Hello everyone, I'm FARMERSIM. Welcome back to the Vintage Oaks. I do hope you're doing very well and having a lovely day. So, 2nd of October, first bit of work during the day, get the cows sorted out. So, just mucking them out, topped them up with the last of that bale that was in the straw blower there. They've got more than enough food for the day. I haven't needed to top them up yet. They will need a topping up probably by the end of today, but they've got enough food in there to see them through today, so that'll do for now. But we've got a lot of work ahead of us. We also do have, if I bring up the heads-up display, we do have some rain on the way. Now that's forecast to arrive sometime between 10 and 12, or last between 10 and 12, so that does govern what we can get on with during that time anyway. But what I'd like to do, as I say, we've got plenty of work to crack on with. We have 3 empty fields. If I jump into the map PDA and bring that up and show you where we're up to. So, where are we? We have, if I bring up the weeds, we have weeds growing in field 26. Now, this is the field of wheat that we planted a couple of episodes ago. So in order to eradicate those, I do have crop destruction turned on, as I always do. So we're going to have to fit some narrow tyres to one of our vehicles. Now, not all of them I can fit narrow tyres to. I can fit narrows to either of the Fords. I can't fit them to the case or the Fendt, or obviously this thing as well. So I think the JCB is going to be the tractor for that task. It'll cost £1,000 to equip that with the narrows that it comes with, so we'll have to do that. But the money is, obviously we've got just over 40 grand, just under 41, but the 3 empty fields I think are going to swallow up all of that money. Again, going into the map PDA, we've got field 17 up here, we've got 22, and we've got 62. Now, as I said in the last episode, I'm going to pop canola into this one, as that is the most valuable crop, and I'm going to put barley and oats into either of these. I think I'm going to put oats into 22, and I'm going to put barley into 17. So that's the idea. Now, field 70 up here, our grass field that we turned over into hay in the last episode, that is currently in its harvested state. Now, I could wait. I could save myself a job and wait until next month for that to appear in its first natural growth stage, but what I would like to do, I think, is make use of our heavy meadow roller, which we have in the shed behind here, and get that rolled over and promote the next growth stage and get that growing, and yeah, get it working for us as soon as possible. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to use the case for that one. Now, ordinarily in the past, obviously what I've done up to now with most of the bits of equipment that we've got is I've doubled up on things, haven't I? Or in the case of the seeder, I've tripled up on them, but I'm not going to do that with this, just purely for the purposes of being a bit wise with my money, just for now anyway. Like I said, we need to get those fields drilled. Oh, there we go. I thought I had manual attach switched on. Oh well. I'll put that back on in a minute. But yeah, the empty fields are going to drink that money, I think. So instead of spending money where I don't necessarily need to spend it for now, I'm just going to make do with this one meadow roller. It's 5 meters wide, so that field it'll take a couple of hours to get done, but that's all good. It's all right. As you know, if any of you watched the previous episode, we got 1 million litres of hay into our TMR machine there. Our silage bunker there is 39% fermented, so we've still got a bit of time left to wait for that to be done. So I'm not in a rush to get the straw, or half of the straw, taken out of the bale shed there and popped into the TMR mixer as well, so we'll get that done at some point. But we do have lots to do. Obviously, like I said, the field 26, the wheat field, that does have weeds growing in it, and it is also 0% fertilised. We've got 2 stages of fertiliser to run in that, so I do need to get that boxed off as well. So that's a fair bit of work we've got ahead of us. But we are okay for time. We've got a good couple of months ahead of us to start the drilling and get the fields sorted out. But I don't want to be lackadaisical about things and just keep on saying, "Oh, I've got plenty of time," and then before I know it, I've not got enough time, and I end up losing out and causing myself huge financial penalties. So, like I say, we're going to crack on with the rolling of the grass field first, get that growth promoted, and then I think what we're going to do now, that, like I said, it's going to take a couple of hours, and with the rain coming sometime between 10 and 12, I think it would be wise of me to leave the first bit of drilling we're going to crack on with until after the rain has been and gone, just for the sake, because I don't want to be caught short drilling in the rain and having to stop halfway through. So we'll like I say, wait for that rain to come and go. Now, the way I think I'm going to approach it, because I've got 3 seeders, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to run all 3 seeders, but I'm going to run one on its own again, forgive me, I'll just come to a stop here and jump back into the PDA just to show you where my mind's going with it. I'm going to try and concentrate on getting both of these fields drilled today. We're going to get this one rolled, and we're going to get these 2 drilled. One with, like I say, one with oats and one with oats, 22 with oats and 17 with barley. So I'm going to run 2 of the 3 seeders in 22, and I'm going to run one on its own in 17 and get them both done at the same time. The triple seeder thing kind of works well for the slightly bigger fields, field 26. Obviously, if I pop down to the active workers menu, you can bring up the acreage of each field. So we did 3 seeders in this field. That was obviously 90 acres. We've got 72 acres there, and we've got 46 acres there. So I think I can split those 3 across those 2 fields and get that work done using trying to make use of time as best as possible. And obviously 62 at 122 acres, that will be running all 3 seeders at the same time. Obviously, with that being the biggest field that we have. So that's the plan of attack for today's episode. So I'm gonna get ourselves over to the grass field now, and I'll see you in a few moments. Right, here we are, back in the grass field that we spent several hours in the last episode. So this is going to take a good few hours. I appreciate that, just running one 5-meter piece of equipment. But it is a good one. I do have this over on my other series, a Cali Farm. It's a very good, very handy and very simple piece of equipment. Nice heavy meadow roller. So, yeah, we'll crack on with this. As usual, I'll pop a bit of music behind this job, and I'll pick you all back up in a couple of hours' time. Hopefully before the rains come. Okay, just the end of this row to go now, and then that's this job completely done. So it has taken a couple of hours, but as you can see, we didn't beat the rain. The heavens opened about half an hour ago, so it is what it is. The main thing is it's all done now. Now, one thing that had slipped my mind as well is obviously having not played with precision farming off for such a long time. I had completely forgotten that obviously when it comes to grass work, running the roller adds the last 50% of fertilization to the field, so it's all done. I don't have to add any fertilizer into this field, which is excellent. But what I think I'm going to do, have I just unfolded that again or folded it? Come on, let's just bring up the heads-up displays because the tractor was selected, not the roller. There we go. Right, we'll get there. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do is I am going to sell a chunk of our grain, our oats, because just trying to think about the state of finances and what we've still got left to do. Now, obviously, the ideal selling time for any of the grain is January, and that's several months away. Now, the reality is I can't afford to hold off until then to sell the grain. So what I'm going to do, we've got 329,000 litres of oats currently in the silo. I'm going to sell 100,000 litres of them, or give or take as close as possible. Roughly about seven trailers worth of the stuff. We're going to send it round the corner to one of the sell points called Yeah Grain, which I think is one of the new sell points that was added into the map on the latest update. So we're going to hook up to the blue Ford and the blue trailer. Now, what I have done, you might see there at the top right-hand corner, the money has dropped down a couple of grand as well. Again, just off camera while that job was getting finished off, I repaired the Ford for just under 2 grand, and I equipped one of the trailers, the blue one, with a cover, because obviously if we're going to be carting some grain back into, we don't want to be getting it wet. We want to keep it dry as possible. So, and none of the trailers have got covers equipped at the minute, so I've just equipped one of them for 1,500 quid. But yeah, because we've got a field to spray herbicide in, field 26, with the wheat in at the minute. We're going to need to pay for some herbicide. We're still going to need to pay for fertilizer. We're going to need to pay for a lot of seed to get these fields done. So the reality is, the money that we've got at the minute just isn't enough. So like I say, I'm going to take a little bit of a hit. It's not too much of a hit, to be fair. The grain, it's not really low price at the minute. It's only a few grand less than top dollar, so I'm not going to lose any sleep over that. But we could potentially get, I'm going to say, roughly about 60 odd grand into the bank, maybe just over, which will bring the bank account to a nice 6-figure sum. So that's the plan. So there we go, that's that job all done. Where's that super strength on? There we go. So we're going to jump in this blue Ford here. It is, like I said, I've just repaired it because it was just shy of 50% damaged, so needed to be done. And as you can see, the time is now 10 to 11. The forecast has given this weather now for the next hour or so until roughly around about 12 o'clock. So instead of sheltering away out the rain and not really doing anything, I figured it would be a good idea to make use of the time, but also, more importantly, to bring up that bank balance. So, as you can see, we've got a nice yellow cover equipped to this trailer now. So we'll get it hooked up. There we go. Lovely stuff. And let's go and see if we can make a few quid. Right, done. There we go. Bank account is now at a much healthier looking £100,129. We made in total from selling those oats £62,786. So that stands us in much better stead now for being able to afford the herbicide that we're going to need in the near future, any fertiliser we're going to need, and of course the massive 3-field seeding job we're going to need to get done. So it's 25 to 12. The forecast has given the rain's going to stop any time in the next half an hour or so, I hope. So let's get ourselves home. We'll see out this rain, and I'll pick you up shortly when we're picking up the seeders, getting them topped up, and making our way out to the field. Right, so that's the rain done with. Done and dusted, thankfully. Seems like it's turning out to be a lovely day. The weather forecast has given sunshine for the rest of the day, so that's excellent, considering the job we need to do now is get a load of drilling done. So, both these Fords, 7810s, these are going to drill some oats into field 22 here, the big one. And I'm going to send the case off to fields, I want to say 17, let me just remind myself, forgive me. Yeah, field 17, that's going to get drilled with a bit of barley. Now, as you can see already, the money is down to £96,505 because I've had to throw a couple of grand at repairing this, the Silver Jubilee 7810, and also 1455 needed a bit of maintenance as well. So there's been a few grand thrown at those. It's got to be done though, got to look after our equipment. Now, all of the 3 seeders have got some seed in. They're over about 70% each of them. But so what I'm going to do, I'm going to jot down the money that we're at now, 96,505. We're going to set these guys off to do the job. I'm going to pop these 2 in the cinematic, and I'm just going to leave the case to himself. Let him go and sort all that out. But they are going to be running course plate and auto drive, coming back into the seed tank here to fill up. So I'm going to, like I say, jot down, just so I've got it in my memory, the 96,505 that we're at now, and see what we're at when the jobs are done, after we've refilled with a load of seed, 1 or 2 times no doubt. So, as I say, I'll pop a bit of music behind this one now as well, and we'll spend the next few hours getting these 2 fields sorted, and then that will leave the big field over there for a future episode to get drilled with the canola. So, let's crack on with it, and I'll see you in a few hours. Right, there we go. Both fields completely done. Decent job done, if I don't say so myself. And we've finished at a reasonable time as well for a change. 5:20 in the evening. That'll do for me. The sun's still out. It's a beautiful evening now. Now the rain's gone. Although it does say that we've got rain forecast again, I think, for some time during the night. But it's all good. That's all that matters. And I think the case is somewhere on its way back. There we go. Job done. So I think we need to give all three of these machines a bit of a clean over and sort them out. Now, looking at the money, as you can see, we're back down to £78,505. So we started with 96,505. So we've spent exactly £18,000 on seeds to get both of those fields done. Now, we haven't used £18,000 worth of seeds. We've just spent 18 grand on seed. Now, each of these three vehicles has still got some left in. So, for example, if we jump into the case, we've still got 88% left in that one. The Silver Jubilee, we've got 59% left in that one. And I do think we've got quite a little left in that, yeah, 5%. So, but that's all good. Let's jump into the map PDA very quickly. And as you can see, there we go. Barley, oats, and all that's left to do for us now is to get the big one, field 62, drilled, which we will no doubt be tackling in the next episode. But as you can see, obviously, there, if we go to our growth calendar as well, both of our grass fields are sorted. This one obviously is a little bit further ahead of the other one because we did most of that work in the last couple of episodes. So this one's growing away now nicely. These ones are obviously just at their first growth stage, but they're at the same growth stage as this one is, obviously because we're in the same month. But again, if we zoom out a bit more and go to our soil composition menu. Now, I'm not going to forget to run the field roller this time. That's what I did that with this field here, didn't I? But it's too late for me to roll this one now because obviously the plants are... The wheat has germinated, so we can't run the field roller now. But this one does still have weeds in, as I mentioned earlier, so that one needs sorting out. And as for fertilizing, if I get rid of the rolling colour, as you can see, neither of these fields have got any fertilizer in at all. So we do need to look into that and get a bit of fertilizer put into there. So if I run very quickly round to the field, actually, just so we can have a look at things and get an idea of what the numbers say at the minute. So there we go. It needs rolling, 0% fertilized, and the yield bonus at the minute is 50%. So we should be able to pick that up quite dramatically, hopefully up towards the 90-odd% mark, 98% possibly, to get the yield as good as possible. So as soon as I see the first stage of germination from these fields, we'll run the first fertilizer spray in there, and then a few weeks later we'll run the second one, pull it up to 100%. But that's all good. But obviously in the next episode, like I say, we're going to be drilling field 62 with the canola, and we are also going to be at least tackling the weeds in field 26, the wheat field. And to do that, we're going to be equipping the fast track here with some narrow tyres, hooking it up to the Shepherd sprayer, and seeing what we can do with that. Because like I mentioned earlier, there is no narrow tyre option for the Fendt here. And I think the Shepherd sprayer is probably a little bit too big for either of the Fords. You can fit narrow tyres to the Fords, but they don't actually visually look particularly narrow, to be honest. Even though they do say narrow, and they probably will work in the same way. The ones that you can fit to the fast track do actually look particularly narrow, and I think they're going to be better suited. And I think this tractor's better suited for the job anyway. So yeah, all good. So we have made some progress, and as I said before, we've managed to finish the day at a reasonable time as well, instead of in the middle of the night, as it has been in the last couple of episodes. So, I think for today's episode, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to call it here. So I do hope you've enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. I really do hope you've enjoyed it and found it a little bit of fun, a little bit interesting. As always, if you're new to the channel and you like my content, you like the way I'm doing things, please consider hitting that subscribe button and jumping on board, joining the channel. Please give the video a like if you can, if it's no bother. It does do wonders, helps the YouTube algorithm do its thing. And as always, there are a host of links in the video description below with my Giants partner promo code. If any of you are in the market for purchasing a DLC, an add-on, a season pass, or even the full game itself, or even pre-ordering Farming Simulator 25, and you like the idea of helping a content creator out and supporting their channel, as always, I would be hugely appreciative. So thanks again for your time, everyone. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.